Welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you. It's good to see Brian. It's good to see the fans. How's it going
Good
today?
to be here, man.
That's good.
Ready for some more Chinese Dota.
Yep, we got a big one. We got PSG.LGD versus Vici Gaming now. LGD, they're 2-0. Vici Gaming, or they're 4-0. And Vici Gaming is 3-1 in map sets. They lost one game to TNC. So, I mean, the top of the groups right now, going at it.
Okay, I mean, I'm looking for some good Dota. I feel like
I think
yesterday
this is the best one,
I just want to see some good drafts. I feel like it's interesting to already look into this draft and see like Vici Gaming prioritizing Ame's heroes, like from the get-go, the Morphling and the PL heroes that I wouldn't say are standard first-round bans, but both these teams, like, yesterday we saw some inconsistency in terms of some of these teams. Like the drafts just looked very underwhelming or predictably bad, I guess you could say, and these two teams being at the top of the group, I really look forward to seeing if they mix it up or kind of just if they have their own play style. I think it's been kind of cool to see these teams that just put their own take on the patch and stick with what they know. We see a lot of these like Axe and Beastmaster type heroes, and I think we're going to continue to see those. I don't think the fact that teams have different play styles changes the fact that these offlaners are kind of just in their own tier of strength right now. Leshrac up there as well.
How do you feel about Tidehunter? Like, way different than Axe and Beastmaster,
yeah, we saw
right?
the Tidehunter game yesterday.
Lot,
he's good against these Beastmaster type heroes just because they can't really go on him, but I feel like a lot of teams, they have their hard farmer in the carry role, and then the mid laner is kind of just either a pusher, something like that. So the off laner needs to be some sort of gank threat, and Tide doesn't seem to do that. So
he just sits in a lane, pushes it, maybe comes to a team fight.
Yeah.
A lot different than the other ones.
I just feel like Beastmaster, honestly, is just strictly better in regards to the fact that a lot of these offlaners just sit in a lane, like you said with Tidehunter, but then they pick you off. So you can't really contest them unless you gank them. And Tidehunter is a hero that you can't really gank, but you can also just ignore him. And so Warlock, I like the Warlock pick.
Why do you like it? Well, like as a first, like not just as a hero, as a first pick. Like, why is it good?
It basically says back off of one of our lanes. Like you can just have because the bounty runes are no longer there at 2 minutes. There's really no reason for supports to actually have to leave the lane. So heroes in the support role that can just sit behind their core, either harassing or honestly sustaining their core. We've been seeing more Witch Doctors go for like the Voodoo Restoration build, and Warlock I think is just he has high base damage. He's tanky. He's probably the strongest laning support in my opinion in like a dual lane setup.
Right. So pretty much the meta right now then.
Yeah. And that's why I like it a lot. It's just a very safe pick. It basically secures you either a strong dual lane aggro or a strong just safe, like a passive safe lane. It enables these heroes that wouldn't be able to sustain the lane previously against these like Beastmaster type lanes, but they actually go for the Bounty Hunter.
Which is a little bit of the opposite, right? Like, he does want to move around. I mean, we've seen him in tri-lanes, not the best, and, well, there's some instant Night Stalker pick on the other side.
This is an interesting opening of the draft. I feel like Bounty Hunter wants to invade lanes, like kind of you said, like Warlock sits there protecting one lane, and Bounty Hunter is the opposite. I feel that from a carry player's perspective, I feel like my safe lane's good to go because I have a Warlock, but Bounty Hunter's a hero that he needs to threaten all 3 lanes. Like, he can threaten all 3 lanes.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Vici Gaming just picks heroes that aren't gankable, their line, like, LGD's put a lot of eggs in the basket of, like, early aggression with the Bounty Hunter, and then the Doom also is a hero that relies on that. So I kind of like the Night Stalker. He can be, the 4-position counter ganger or just a lane that Bounty Hunter can't really walk to because, let's be honest, Night Stalker doesn't really care about a Bounty Hunter.
Is there any chance this Night Stalker's a 3?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I feel like
or do you think
you kind of just wait till they like. This is the advantage of having first pick is you get the reactionary pick in the second round of the draft, so they can just if they see a good lane matchup, or sometimes the 4 matchup can be like a bad matchup if like certain heroes do really well roaming against Night Stalker, stuff like Spear Breaker. But they banned the gyro.
It's an Ame just likes playing. It's a team fighter, right? Low cooldown. I mean, Warlock, you get 2 cooldowns before Warlock gets a rock.
Yeah, I feel like they're not really concerned about something like a Luna, the other Ame hero that comes to mind. I'm already leaning towards something like a Troll for LGD, but just because it matches up well against the Night Stalker and the Warlock, because they have little disable and you need to be able to fight back against a hero like Night Stalker.
What about, I know Terrorblade got nerfed, but is he just completely unpickable now?
his laning stage is just so much weaker than it used to be, and that's the problem. Is like in the past you'd pick him first round because you just pick Terrorblade. You can put him honestly in like a dual off lane, like where he's played as a carry, but he's in the off lane. You can put him mid, you can put him safe lane, and he's just gonna get what he gets. And that's kind of why these heroes like Slark and Lifestealer have been a little bit more powerful this patch, is because they do that still, and Terrorblade no longer does. But Terrorblade's also, in my opinion, very weak against Night Stalker, because Terrorblade wants to spend like that mid to early game just farming jungle or playing passively, and he's just running at you the entire time. So it's super obnoxious for heroes like that. You want the strong laners, in my opinion, in the carry role against these Night Stalker type heroes, because you don't have the option to leave. You can't just back off in jungle because it's so easy to invade you with Night Stalker. You're just so fast. You have no counterplays, and curious to see where LGD chooses to go. Luna's still a fine option, I think, if they go that route. I can't think of any other Ame heroes that are still left in the pool. But it's important that since they put so much emphasis on the lane from Vici Gaming, that I think LGD has to pick a strong laning 5, such as Witch Doctor.
They instantly take DP. Death Prophet, all right.
Okay.
We saw it first picked a lot of while yesterday, but this time it just gets through and they instantly take it up to the second phase. Look at this. Pretty quick draft.
Wow. Lycan definitely the hardest counter in the game to Doom from the carry role. Doom just relies on taking heroes out of fights by threatening to just doom you if you run in.
Yeah. And
Lycan just activates his ulti, pushes Howl, and doesn't care if you use Doom on him, and Doom has no stuns. So
or armor.
Yeah, or armor, exactly. So I expect to see like a Crimson Guard coming out from the Doom. That's usually their best response. But at the same time, like Lycan's going to have a good lane. It goes well with the Night Stalker because of the Howl bonus damage at nighttime. And they have no stuns so far on LGD. And Lycan loves lineups with no stuns.
There's no stuns on either team really right now. This is
I think they need like a Lion on LGD. You need some AoE control. They could, oddly enough, make like the Doom 4, Bounty Hunter 5, and then pick like a Tide. But you need to make it so Lycan can't run into you. Because if he can just take all of his units and throw them at you, that's why a hero like Troll's really good too. I think Troll is also a very viable pick that I mentioned during the bans of the second round, and it's really good against Lycan because anyone he goes on, you just run at him with Whirling Axes on, and all of his units miss.
Book 3 can purge Jewel still, right?
Yes.
And that's why Lycan, like, Death Prophet doesn't do it. Like, if you get a Book 3 and all she has is Jewels, right, like, Death Prophet just useless.
Yeah, and you can also purge the Aeon Disc too, so there's really no, like, other than maybe just a BKB and running away, there's no great option for DP against the Lycan.
And that's why you saw, like, the instant pick, right? Like, they instantly picked Death Prophet, and they're like, oh, Lycan.
Yeah. They were probably already thinking it because they had Night Stalker, and the enemy team had Doom, and then when they picked Death Prophet, they're like, okay, we'll take it.
Sure. If we can. And look at this, a lot of time being used this time.
This is an important pick. And they go Wind Ranger.
So that's more of a, it can still be anything, right? We've seen in the 5 role in the CIS region. We've seen it middle. We saw it off lane yesterday.
I think it could be a 3 this game. I think it could be anything. But it stands out to me as a 3 because I don't think you want Doom 3 against Lycan. It just sucks. I've played the matchup both sides. It doesn't feel good. The only good thing about Doom is you can eat his Helm Dom creep, but it's like it doesn't make up for the rest of how bad the matchup is. But you can also purge Windrun with the Necro Book. So not 100% sure how confident I am in this Wind Ranger. And I think they're going to have to prove me wrong until I see it. They haven't picked Ame Zero yet. I feel like they still have to pick the carry. Like, he's yet to play any of these Death Prophet in cores. He just plays these scaling right-clickers pretty much every game.
Man, so Vici Gaming, dude, you still need a stun, though, right? Like, it feels like a stun would still be extremely good. You have Night Stalker Warlock, but
there you go.
A DK, so
that's a stun.
This is looking like Vici. This is one of those games, like, if we win the laning phase, we're just going to take your base at 25 minutes. If not, we can still do crazy stuff with Lycan and DK.
I like the way they're addressing the Bounty Hunter. They're just picking cores that are...
Can't die to him early
exactly.
at all.
You don't care if you're a DK and you're getting hit by a Bounty Hunter.
Or a Lycan. They both have that innate regen.
And especially he's the Warlock behind him. And this Night Stalker can be a bruising 4 position hero or the 3. I think either one at this point is acceptable. They haven't seen the carry, so I wouldn't even mind if they just pick something like a Sand King that, based on what they see in the last pick, they can choose which one goes off lane because you just want the good lane matchup at the end of the day. And they've already banned so many of Ame's heroes that he's got a pretty limited selection because we've only seen
we don't know how many heroes he can play, but in Pro Dota, he doesn't play that many.
He has a
but he
very
plays
small
them very
hero pool
well.
of what? Yeah, no, obviously, yeah. He specializes very well. He's a very strong player.
Is Slark bad in this matchup?
It's weak against the Night Stalker, but it's good against everything else.
That's
just because you rely on night vision on Slark, so during the Night Stalker ultimate, it's a little obnoxious.
Yeah.
But I actually wouldn't mind Slark here. It's very good against Lycan.
Get on top of people and stack
synergizes well with the Bounty Hunter. And I think they can actually take team fights on the side of LGD if they have some sort of disruption hero, like a hero that just causes a bit of chaos, because Vici Gaming kind of relies on just walking into you, goleming, stunning you with DK, and killing you with Lycan. So if they can have a hero that goes on the back lines, that would be quite useful for them.
What about Vici Gaming here? You think it's going to be a... What do you think it's going to be?
I like something like a Sand King, personally. Some hero like that can swap with the Night Stalker willingly. Like, if they pick a carry that's good against Night Stalker, they just put Sand King off lane. Just a hero like that.
We'll see. They only have 9 seconds. Both teams have used all their reserve time.
This is
very rare to see. Probably 2 of the best teams, up there. IG just Bloodseeker.
Wow.
This looks like Vici really wants to run at you at like 15, 20 minutes in.
Lycan again? We saw
or DK.
They picked Lycan yesterday. I think it was them. 11 ran the offlane Lycan, and they just put it with a Bane yesterday. I think it was them.
Could you just do it with a Warlock? Or
yeah,
put
Warlock or Night Stalker or something.
Yeah.
And they just treated it like, I'm going to build a Helm Dom, I'm an offlaner. And that I think they could still do the DK offlane, but Bloodseeker can't offlane. So we know that he's either mid or safe lane.
Now the follow-up
CK.
So it looks like it will be. It is Chalice on Doom, though, so that means will be a support Wind Ranger.
I'm looking forward to some CK action here. A hero that I think is underrated, but he's hard to pull off. Like, he is not... He's a hero that his laning stage is completely geared around killing you.
Yeah, why'd they pick him this game? Is he...
It's nice against the Lycan because you can stun him and Reality Rift him. He has low armor and you burst him down. And it's also good against the Bloodseeker for the same reason. But in my opinion, CK is a hero that he was always good in the lane based on killing people. He doesn't actually trade very well despite the fact that he has high damage. He simply... None of his abilities when you level up make him trade well. So he's a hero that it's all about the kill potential. And Lycan actually dies to this with the Bounty Hunter.
And you were right. It is 11. On the Lycan,
yeah. And so I think that the CK pick has merit. It's good against the Bloodseeker and the Lycan in the side lanes because both of those heroes are just kind of sustain heroes, like Lycan with the HP regen from his passive, and then Bloodseeker just blood raging for the creeps. So if kill potential is the best way to deal with these type of heroes, and they have the Wind Ranger. I'm curious to see how that plays out.
So what do you think the Bounty Hunter is going to be? Like, where does
I have
where
to
does
believe
Zero
he
go?
plays around the CK because I don't see how they have kill potential in the early levels for Doom, and then DK mid doesn't really care, right? I don't think that he can do anything.
DK or Lycan, it feels like, I mean, once you get levels on Lycan, you just don't care that much.
Yeah.
Is this going to be do you remember how he played? Did he play Max Wolves or?
Yeah, usually you see 1-0-2 and then 4-0-2 at the level 7.
Gotcha.
The Wolves are just too good. The level 3 Wolves, why people do like the 3-0-2 no points and Howl, is because they have the Cripple, which does like 40 attack slow, which on heroes like Doom, no matter who they're laning against, it's super powerful in the early game.
Remember just like a couple of months ago when Lycan was going like 0-4-4 builds?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was just
it's
farming,
crazy,
right?
Yeah. And then they nerfed the crap out of Howl is what happened. It used to be that Howl was like just a raw heal, so if your mid laner got gone on, here's 200 health, 5 minutes into the game, but now that doesn't work that way anymore.
So, it looks like the lane's starting out. Warlock, Bloodseeker are going to be top. We're going to see FY on that support Wind Ranger. Got Orb of Venom. 50 base damage, Orb of Venom. Your attack time's nice. I think that's what's so good about Wind Ranger. She's just one of the best, like, base attack times in the game.
She feels good, yeah. Like, the attack time, the attack animation.
Everything,
yeah. Just a clean hero. And finally viable after getting buffed about 45 patches in a row.
What was the, like, big thing? Just overall, they just, like, slowly buffed everything where it's good enough?
Man,
and
the cost on, like,
too.
all of her skills, the damage on all of her skills, the quality of life change with their ultimate that you can move while you're attacking now.
Ooh, X-Nova's going to steal this, it looks like.
Got him.
Yeah. Yep, they know he's there, but what are you going to do? Can't play. You don't want to waste this Sentry Ward. Like, oh, could have.
And I feel like this Bounty Hunter pretty much has free roam until nighttime. The really only counterplay they have on Vici Gaming is the Night Stalker, and until night, he's just not that scary.
What's your over-under on chicken kills?
I
think 2, 3?
I think 3.
3?
I feel like it's all stages of the game that if he's just randomly scouting and walks by.
And just wards, right? Like, we've seen these deep, like, in-lane wards. Now, you always find a chicken. That's why, like, these, you know, solo on VP, his Nature's Prophet and BH.
Yeah, it's so
many kills.
When I watch it, it's like, you just have to worry about it at the courier. And it's like, if you're a core, you're so busy farming, it's so hard to think about these extra little things.
Yep.
They're actually aggro dual laning with the CK Wind Ranger. And I like that they immediately rotate the Night Stalker top, because CK is not a hero that can deal with multiple targets in these type of lanes, and they're perfectly fine having the Lycan against the Doom solo. That's like the carry counter, and even though it's an off-lane Lycan, he's against the Doom anyway.
Yeah. Infernal Blade is going to do a bunch. You see the ward gets placed down, so it does block the pull, and looks like they might just do a tri-lane versus tri-lane up here with the Bounty Hunter. And they're going to go in right now. Orb of Venom is up. 1 second stun. Fenrir, he's just dead.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Warlock is he helps protect his teammates, but he himself is quite vulnerable to that exact thing happening. He just has to be careful getting caught out. I'm sure he'll learn his lesson. They missed the D ward actually. That's a huge deal on the pull camp, so they're stuck here for a while.
Gets the D ward now. Okay.
Oh, second time's a charm.
Wait, that didn't even block it. I guess he just blocked it by himself, but still, that's 2 sentries for 1 ward.
Yeah, Bloodseeker hates these tri-lanes even more than CK does.
Yeah, because doesn't Bloodseeker, like, Bloodseeker wants to get, like, early items at 15, just run around with Rupture, but here we go. Oh, a nice shackle. Hits onto 2 of them. Stun's going to fly. It's only 1 second again. Doesn't have enough for Reality Rift unless he wants to mango, but no reason to. FY gets the kill, and, man, this is the problem, though. Now, I mean, you're up 2-0, you're up, like, 1,000, but CK, his mana pool is pretty low. And you do have the mangoes,
Double mango, but it's just one of those things where this is why Bloodseeker doesn't see much play anymore. Because how does he deal with this? He doesn't deal with this.
Like, what does he do? Go bottom?
Yeah,
that's not much.
You can't fight back either, so he has no other lane to go to. And opposed to a hero like Slark, he's not like survivable or these like Morphling PL type heroes. He's quite vulnerable himself, but they're managing to farm underneath the tower now.
Yeah.
And they actually blocked the camp later with a Radiant Sentry. So
oh, and he got both the sentries, too. So they used 2 sentries to counter a ward, and he counters both sentries with sentry. Wow. That's rough. Bounty Hunter looked for the chicken, but was about 10 seconds too late here. They're doing some damage to FY now. Ton of harass. They know he doesn't have wind run. Saw the Shackle power shot.
So when you steal a last hit with the power shot with the Blood Rage on you. Oh, too late now. Nice try, though. But this bottom lane, pretty much just a trade between the Doom and the Lycan. It's one of those matchups that just gets worse and worse as levels goes on for the Doom. It's pretty even as you start.
You just right-click him like this, right?
Yeah, you can't trade with once you have level 2 Wolves and 3, it's over. Yeah, pretty much.
The cripple ability seems pretty good. So what, does Doom like wanted? Does a creep matter in this? He has the Wild Wing, which is the armor. Is that the best creep you can get, or is like a Satyr better?
I think Satyr's always better.
Satyr's always better.
I mean, it's like 8 health regen after the buff, or like the bonus from strength.
Yep.
But both heroes are perfectly fine with the trade. I just think that Lycan is a hero that if he's trading and he didn't even need help to get it, is a great spot for him. So while they're kind of sacrificing Bloodseeker top, he will create space for him. But they do go on the Bloodseeker top.
And he's got the heal, which is pretty damn good. FY gets out the Shackle shot, doesn't hit a tree, but they should be able to bring him down. No, the Orb of Venom won't out damage the heal, and now X-Nova was in trouble, but no sentries.
At value, Belt of Strength on the Bloodseeker. He has no boots, just straight Belt of Strength, knowing
saved
that
him.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually great, like, little micro of purchasing of items, basically.
Yeah, because you're 100% right. He would have died easily.
He's just stunned the whole time, so it doesn't matter that he has boots in that example.
So middle lane, we haven't talked really any. I mean, it's just a farm lane, right? There's
DK
no kills.
Death Prophet lane.
But look at this, the Death Prophet, 27-5 versus 21-3. I think that's pretty good for the DK, right? Like only being 6 down.
Yeah, but he is almost. I guess it's about equal in experience because he has a bunch of creeps coming in. Both these heroes are just going to get what they get. Death Prophet, pretty lane dominant hero, but DK's a hero that
just sits there.
Yep.
He has a passive. Look at this Chalice, so much damage from these wolves. The cripple, as you talked about, and he's just he's just chasing him.
Yep, level 5 the lane's over. That's been my experience with it in favor of the Lycan.
Yeah, look at this. He just has to go. Is he going to go Shrine? 5 minutes, looks like it. Oh, Lan M. Lan M knows he wants the Shrine. This might just be a kill.
He sees him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's such a good play by LANM. He like knew the 5-minute mark. That's just a heads-up play.
And it's also even more value because he knows there's bounty runes down here. So it's like even if he didn't get the kill, he has something to do here anyway.
That's just one of those plays you think it looks so simple, but like you would never see that in a pub. Like, oh, Doom's gonna go heal. It's 5 seconds from the shrine. Just runs there and gets a kill. It's just so smart.
Reading exactly what he thinks the enemy's gonna do. And like you said, just right on point with that. Perfect timing on the rotation.
So top lane back up. Bloodseeker 1-1-1 build.
Oh, the two-man shackle.
Oh, man, they're going to go in. They're going to look for this Bloodseeker. He's going to get healed up. That's a 3-second stun coming out of Ame. Still getting healed nicely. 2 more attacks will be enough.
That's when you ping the support. What are you doing standing in a straight line behind me? Setting up that stun. But both heroes in the bottom lane are 6, and he gets the Doom off immediately. Something that you do have to look out for as the Lycan player. He has Infernal Blade. Yeah, he's probably dead here.
2 seconds, yeah. Especially if he gets a crit, for sure.
Yeah, you see that cripple.
The crit. He just couldn't attack him. He might.
It's plenty damage, I think.
Nope, he's dead, yeah.
Yep.
Barely.
That's the one thing as Lycan you have to worry about, because the only play Doom has against you is getting 6, dooming you. And he got it on the creep wave and immediately used it. Really well played.
Oh, look at this. Middle. Just steals his regen rune. LANM was saving it for Ori, and now Ori does not feel very good.
Oh, but Bloodseeker bottom. Level 3 to this level 6 Doom, but Wind Ranger TPing in. And
this would be a lot of gold, but he is not going to get it. He's just going to die instead. I mean,
ouch.
I think it's smart going for that, right? If you kill a level 6 there, you get like what, a level?
That's a play that's like, if you get the kill, it's absolutely huge, but now his game's ruined.
Yep,
like, I will tell you, this Bloodseeker's game is ruined at this point. He won't have an impact on this game for a long time. Like, he will not have any impact. Bloodseeker's not a comeback hero. And Lycan's game is drastically slowed down by that death. His Helm Dom's not going to come out in a solo lane. It's not going to come out for at least another few minutes.
Yeah, and the Sentry Ward will scout out Xnova. He gets attacked by the range creep, so he knows now. But yeah, this is a 2K lead, 6-1. The one kill they do have was that LANM kill, so their cores are definitely struggling.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, why I don't like the Bloodseeker. You get aggro tri-lane, and now you're Bloodseeker against an aggro tri-lane. But CK rotates bottom to follow the Bloodseeker, which I like. And
1 second stun only. Xnova, is he going to make it all the way uphill? Nope. We're going to see Janata hit come out. Has level 1 Shuriken.
Stun on CK in 2 seconds, but he's going to lose vision. Either way, though, he's just bullying him away, and Bloodseeker is in no man's land. Has a TP, but he's running at him. He knows he's here somewhere.
Oh, Chalice gets a kill middle. They just dive in. My bad for missing that. Paparazzi's like, all right, I'm out of here. Goes back top. Yeah, this is just looking, I mean, I think we were all saying, I think LGD was favored going into this, right? It's a regional matchup, but LGD, I mean, they just won a major. They've looked good, and this is one of those maybe not trap games, but you're like, they're finally going to go up against a team, because, right, LGD beat Vega yesterday, who a lot consider maybe one of the weaker teams here. And then Newbie, who didn't even make it out of group stages. Yeah. So they're 4-0, but they haven't really faced a test
to really
in VG.
prove themselves, yeah.
And they're looking good in this early game. It's only 8 minutes in, but they've won all 3 lanes.
I really like this CK pick. I think like Ame showing that despite the fact that we've kind of seen him play a limited number of heroes, they had absolute last pick, and they saw the Bloodseeker, and like, we're just going to aggro tri-lane this guy. What carry does that? And I think it's set up the entire laning stage for them. They know the DP is going to get what she gets, but they are smoked up top, like an ulti going.
He's dead. Doom is just going to die here. No TP at all. Doom's going to come out, but it will not matter. Doom will go down, and is there a possibility of a tower here, or is it full HP? Can they even push it?
Very odd decision to Doom there, but Lycan has Helm Dom, so they should have no problem pushing, but if they want, I think they can stop it on the side of LGD.
11?
Yeah, this is exactly what I mean.
He's in this pretty deep. Whoa. He clicks out over there, and he just gets pulled back, stunned. Only 1 second. Heal comes out. That might be enough. No. That was a very odd place to farm.
Yeah, Lycan's a hero that the minute he comes out of his ulti,
he's just using, because he always goes to no boots build, so you just don't do anything.
Yep. And they're actually stunning up this Helm Dom creep. That's 200 gold for the Bounty Hunter, which is no joke for any support hero at 9 minutes into
What do you like? Do you like Tranquils or Mana Boots on Bounty Hunter?
I feel like it's kind of based on your course. Yeah. And in this game, I like Mana Boots because of the
CK.
Doom and CK. Yeah. Both heroes that like have, at least CK has mana issues for the entire game.
We do see bottom. They are setting up. No Doom is here, but Paparazzi. Can he get gone on? He's just getting, I mean, it's a level 4. Blood. What does he do? Level 5, pardon me, but he just doesn't do anything now. You're right. He absolutely does nothing this game.
And since the jungle is just so bad nowadays, you have to pretty much lane on any carry. And
top tower is under attack.
This is like, people ask me all the time why I think Bloodseeker isn't picked. And take a screenshot of what the game looks like right now. And this is exactly why I don't think Bloodseeker gets picked, but they are diving mid lane with the Death Prophet ultimate. It is daytime, so Lanham is not very survivable.
Oh, the shackle. Gets the kill, and now that middle tower is going to die. 187. They don't even have the glyph up currently, so.
That has to be all that Rubik play that FY has, just stealing shackle and getting all that practice.
Yep, and then this is what we saw, right? Wind Ranger actually almost has Phase Boots, the Orb of Venom. I mean, both their supports are reasonably farmed. They're more farmed than both the other supports, and God, this Bloodseer, 2.7k compared to the CK, who's 4.1k.
The problem is they have no space makers. Lycan is a hero that he actually plays most of the game passively when he's not in ultimate form, so like you're just going to see all of VG kind of just be collapsed together underneath their towers. Like they can't go anywhere. DK is a hero that needs backup. Night Stalker's only level 5. Warlock has ulti, but I don't think LGD cares about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the biggest thing, just don't get like 3 to 4 man fatal bonded, right? Like
exactly.
that's your big way to lose a fight, and I'm sure they know that.
But I think they're just going to wait till nighttime.
Oh. This is going to be a DK, 3 Saiyan stun. Spirit Siphon there. Somnus gets the kill. They're just playing very well. Yeah. 4K lead. They're rotating around.
Ame knows exactly how to play CK. He's not a hero that just sits farming. He has to show up to pretty much every engagement at this stage in the game. So you want him to be enabled by its supports, and this Wind Ranger plus Bounty Hunter combo actually appears to be going really well with the CK.
What do you like after Armlet on CK?
Usually Echo Saber or Blink. I think Blink if you're lacking reach, but Echo Saber is like the item you want to build. They are diving Fenrir, who has ultimate, and they are TPing on the side of Vici, but no, they do have Night Stalker ult, so they can make it nighttime. But they're just going to back off.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? The Bounty Hunter saw them commit 2 TPs, so your cores are just going to go TP farm the other lane. They know they can't get ganked.
And meanwhile, Chalice is just chilling bottom lane, going for the he's going for the Vanguard into Crimson. I love that purchase against the Lycan, just removes him from the fights. You can purge it with the Necrobook 3, but it's not something I can tell you from a Lycan perspective. It's a long cooldown. It's like 20 seconds, so it doesn't feel very good.
Gets the 10 Scorch Earth damage and heal.
Well, that's usually you see the movement speed, I feel
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure you do too, but all right. They know. I mean, if you're fighting into a Warlock, you're probably just going to be standing there fighting, not really chasing.
That's true. And he's kind of a frontliner for his team. And they have the Bounty Hunter move speed, so maybe he just doesn't need the move speed.
That too. Yeah, it's one of the biggest things. People talk about, oh, the track gold is so good, but like how Secret plays Bounty Hunter, it's all about that move speed. Like in team fights, you just get 1 or 2 tracks up, you're always going to be just permanently like half hasted per se.
Yeah, and even though they first round of the Bounty Hunter, they only have 1 stun on Vici. So the move speed is super valuable when you only have 1 stun like that. Mid lane, Lycan gets gone on by the CK.
1 second stun though.
He sucks at these stuns, I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like it's been 1 second
like
every single
He got
time.
like a 3 second stun up top when it was like a 4-man gank and they didn't need it.
He didn't go into the demo log before the game and practice. I don't understand. He even leveled it to level 2, so I don't know what his excuse is.
When you build him, why do you like... We used to see, what, 1-4-4 builds? It seems like maxing stun has come back, though, after Reality Rift.
I'm kind of curious to see what he chooses to do now. The 2-point stun is nice value just because it makes the average stun 2 seconds rather than, like, hoping between 1 and 2. But clearly it doesn't make his average stun 2 seconds, but it's supposed to. At the end of the day, it basically tells you if he's going to pick stun, he wants to fight a lot. If he's going to pick crit, he wants to kind of half fight, half farm. Because the crit's just nice for sustain as well as the farm speed. But with the Bounty Hunter, I think he might lean more towards the stun. But he is actually going back for the crit. So just as I say that, you know.
The smorgasbord, 2-4-2.
Yep. And he's going for the Echo Saber. It's just like a nice luxury item on CK. You have the 6-second cooldown Reality Rift. The Echo Saber double hits a 5-second cooldown, so it usually just lines up really well.
Now Phase Boots on Wind Ranger, so she's going for the Blink. And there's nothing really else for a support Wind Ranger to go at that point. Just set up for some kills. Paparazzi, this is the guy we've been talking about, the king of 1v1 middles, but Bloodseeker going into a CK Doom and whatnot, this just feels very rough.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what build he goes. If he goes like the Radiance build or more the right-clicking build.
Can you go Radiance this late? Like with how badly you're farming?
That's what I don't know on heroes like Bloodseeker. I don't feel like anything feels good, but
you have to get something.
I'm always curious to see how these people react to these situations because Paparazzi obviously a very good player, so you want to see he's just in a rough spot right now. Looking at the net worth, he's 6th on the list, and DP is just miles above everyone else.
Crazy. Such a good lane middle.
But they do have the ability to fight on VG. They have the Lycan ulti, which is very powerful with the Night Stalker, as well as the Warlock Golem. So if they can actually force a fight, they definitely still have the capability of pulling back in this game. He's actually just going straight BKB on Paparazzi. So he's saying that the way back in this game is fighting. I'm not going to farm my way back, and so he's just going to buy the best item for that.
Yep, probably pretty smart, especially with Warlock on your team. Still hasn't casted an ulti quite yet. And you see LanM. LanM knew the Bounty Hunter was there, and look at he pings right on the ward, so that's probably going to get dewarded. Top lane getting pushed in. It's a tier 2. Doesn't look like Dire really wants to defend this.
Fighting into the DP ulti is quite scary, especially when Somnus is the most farmed hero on the map.
Yep. Chalice with the Vanguard now. Still, I still love it, though. He just has 3 armor. 60 minutes and still has no armor at all.
That's Doom for you. 0 base armor, or less than 1 agility gain. They find, though, the Warlock.
Oh, and they get him. Will they be able to lock him down quick enough? They will. No rock, no nothing. He cannot buy back. This is not a fight you want to take. And look at this. Chaos Knight does get bursted down quickly in this book. Plus the move speed from Thirst. They're just going to be able to chase down Chalice, it looks like. And it's the thing, right? You said you can't find the Ghost, but DP bailed on them.
And that's the no stunning it's like in treatment. Yeah, they use their 1 stun from the Shackle onto the Warlock.
Which is a good kill, but then, as you said, Lycan can just run rampant.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing, is the games where you look at it and you say, I don't know how they come back. It's just like they're behind, they can't farm, and I don't know how they win fights. But in this game, Vici has the ability to win fights, and that's what matters. They have a way back into it, and at the end of the day, DK's working on a blink, which he almost has done, so now their pickoff goes way up for that, because he's really pretty much their only stun.
Yeah. Man. That's going to be a book 3 very quickly for 11 now. Only about 500 more gold needed. It really does feel like this is a good time. If Lycan gets book 3 right, you can fight into the DP if you save the Purge just to take off the Yules.
And I like this move by LGD. It's daytime, no Lycan ultimate, and they're just going to go into Roche with Reality Rift minus armor as well as the DP ultimate.
There is still Warlock. You don't think there's any chance? Doesn't look like there
I think Warlock's like important for fights. Like he helps, but you saw there, he died right at the start, and they lost anyway. So the DK with the blink doesn't even have ulti himself. So all the other cores are not strong on the side of Vici.
So what do you want to see with this Aegis? Is it kind of more of just we're going to take control of the map Aegis, or is it actually going to be like push with the next Ghost?
I almost think it's like a denial Aegis, like meaning they just know it's there to take. If they ever lose a fight to VG, then they're going to take Roche because they have the Lycan Night Stalker. So more so like CK, Death Prophet, and Doom are not all particularly amazing Aegis carriers. But at the same time, like it lets Ame farm a little bit more aggressively, be more independent. Notice how he has no teammates playing around him, which is nice luxury on a hero like CK that you don't normally have.
The big thing, I guess, too, book 3 from they're going to go for Lycan. He does get off his ultimate, though, and he's just going to be able to summon that book, get out of there. Oh, the Void comes out from LanM. This should be a kill in the Doom. It will. And now 11, he's not scared. He's like, wait a minute. I can just run in and kill you. If he uses Wind Run, he's waiting to use Wind Run so it doesn't get purged. He knows. There it is. There's the Purge. And there's the kill.
Good patience by 11 with the Purge creep there. And CK had a TP, but just chose not to show up.
Yeah, I was about X-Nova. I thought he was just going to die. He was under the book 3. They're trying, but it is
Purge
daytime.
Is up in 2 seconds,
That's
and
right.
he's purged.
Just gets it. Doesn't even have to use nighttime on LanM. And just like this, it turned around. Still a 2K gold lead for LGD, but it's a nice 3-0. They have 0 track kills right now, too. None of their kills have been track.
Yeah, they're surprisingly willing to like not just fight when they have track. They have the CK ultimate. I guess because they have DP ultimate, they just refuse to fight there. Meanwhile, CK was farming that entire time, so he's almost done with the Echo Saber. But it's odd that they have Aegis and just let that kind of happen. That fight lasted a pretty long time, and they just didn't commit with anybody. I guess they're waiting for the DP Shivas. This DP has a lot of lingering net worth. She's just 10
until she gets that 400 gold. Yeah,
exactly. That Shivas will be really strong in this game, though.
So Fenrir, I mean, they're winning fights now without even... Is this kind of a Tidehunter Black Hole situation? Like the threat of the rock is better than the rock itself this game, or?
I honestly think so, yeah. I think that they will use it if they can.
Smoke Gang comes in, LanM. They're just going to go in. They're going to try to bring him down in time. Rock finally comes down. Fatal Bonds hits onto 3 of them. They're just right-clicking Somnus, and man, Somnus is healing up quite a bit, stunned under the silence, and here we go. Paparazzi right-clicks. LanM does go down. Ori getting right-clicked by Ame. They're just going to right-click. He gets the Reality Rift in. Ori Will get healed up by Fenrir. Will it be enough? It sure looks like an X-Nova goes, but he gets the blink off. They right-click Fenrir, and look at this Doom and Bounty Hunter just right-clicking him. Ame as well on the backside, though, 11. Will kill him, but it's just an Aegis. He's looking for more, though. Here they go.
I can ult these out.
Yep, and there we go. Oh, Bloodseeker casts his ultimate, but now Chalice is just in there. He's just dead. You're just a Doom with no armor. A Crimson Guard just got purchased, and now X-Nova, you're dead as well.
Wow.
What a
I'm
fight.
surprised DP didn't buy back there, honestly. I feel like they could have just forced that fight, and they even could have like walked down mid with no Lycan ultimate, no DK ultimate, no Warlock ultimate. Little surprised that he was. I guess he's just waiting for the Shivas. He didn't want to invest in the buyback.
I just want to say, they're doing this with Paparazzi having like 2K net worth. He still has 4.8K. He didn't get the. Now he's going Radiance. He went from BKB to Ags to Radiance. He doesn't have anything, and they're winning these fights.
Yeah, and that's just like why I asked in the middle of the game. I'm just like, I don't know what he builds, and clearly he's on the adjusting move right here. It's like based on what happens in the game is what I'm going to pick, and it's like Ags in this game is quite powerful. All like Death Prophet, Doom, Wind Ranger even, these heroes rely simply on mobility for survivability. And if the Death Prophet can't run away, she can't Yules because of the Purge. We saw that last fight. You just purge it immediately with the Lycan Necrobook 3. And how does she live? You know, like they don't have any saves, so she's just going to get ran down by the Lycan.
And that was Fenrir, that was perfect for him, right? He rocks, and he just gets 3 heroes instantly with Fatal Bonds. Like, they can't do anything.
Fatal Bonds is so much damage from
especially
a support role.
Once you get that, he didn't take the Fatal Bonds damage, right? Cast range, especially with Upheaval, so good. Looks like they are going to initiate over there. It's going to be Doom. Does have the Crimson Guard. They do not do any damage, but with that Upheaval so slow, he's running away. But now FY does get the double. Here comes the silence, but Chalice will get brought down. Wind Ranger gets one shot by 11. And now this Lycan, he's too farm. He's level 16. Ame's just dead. He's ruptured. That's the Aghanim's rupture. They have 2 of them. You're just dead.
I like that. Aghanim's into Etherlands. He knows, carry me Lycan, carry me DK. I'm not right-clicking crap this game. I'm just going to push R on people.
And this really, yeah. Oh, they're finding another. This is Death Prophet, who has a Yules. It's not going to matter. He's going to cast it the last second probably, but doesn't even waste time. We talked about no comeback with Bloodseeker. Talking about that, CK cannot farm that quickly at all.
The nice thing about it is I like the way VG advised just with the DK. They're like, we need to blink. We just need to take fights. And Bloodseeker, despite the fact that he hasn't had virtually any farm this entire game, he's still a rupture at the end of the day. And Lycan is not really countered. So Lycan is able to create a lot of space in these fights. They have the Warlock Golem, a hero that does what it does no matter how many items he has. It's just going to push R, Fatal Bonds. And LGD's been looking a little sloppy, honestly, in terms of like they're taking weird fights.
I was going to bring that up because me and you we were both like, man, LGD has a very big lead. This Bloodseeker has nothing. And then like 1 or 2 team fights, they just turned around. Was LGD, were they just not taking the correct fights? Or
they weren't taking the fights. They were like content to not have 2 heroes there. Like a fight broke out in the bottom half of the map, and CK continued farming, Death Prophet continued farming, and despite the fact that Death Prophet had no ultimate, that hero with high net worth, it's not like she has no impact in the game.
The Spirit Siphon's still very good, especially against these like strength heroes.
So
you just think LGD should have took more fights?
Yeah, I just don't think. What I'm trying to say is when I'm ahead, the best thing I try to do is that to recognize how the enemy team comes back. And I think Vici correctly identified that their only way back in this game is by fighting. So LGD had to make sure that they just didn't give them any good fights, and they just kind of let them have, like, that's kind of something I noticed here is that Ame is used to playing these farming heroes, and his reaction to that fight going on bottom on CK was just not show up at all. And I don't think that's like, CK is not a hero that flash farms and makes use of that 30 seconds of farming. He just hits like 8 creeps in that time, and I don't know. I feel like VG's doing all the right things to come back, and LGD's letting it happen as well. So they're suddenly up by 4K.
Yeah, and you see they're abusing that nighttime. With Lanham, it's daytime, so they just go for a safe tier 2 tower push. 11. He's going to be level 18 on this Lycan very shortly. 70-second cooldown that ulti once you get level 20 with the 8-second increased.
I love this Bloodseeker build. Check out his next item he's got queued up.
Dagon, he's just casting spells.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's never going in. Like, once CK hits level 20, which I know he's only level 14 now, but it's like you can't run in now on Paparazzi. And then once you buy BKB against the CK level 20 Reality Rift Piercing stun or BKB, you're just dying anyway. So he's like, there's no way that I'm going to scale into this game as a right clicker. I'm just going to build an Axe, an Aetherlens, and then I'm going to laser people.
So what do you think LGD, like, I mean, Warlock rocks back up. Can LGD even straight up fight even with Ghosts, or is the Lycan too farmed against his DP now?
I mean, you can always win a fight with Death Prophet, I feel like. But at the same time, the Bloodseeker Rupture, as I mentioned, plus the Purge, he has no itemization to live through this. I think he has to buy a BKB, which he is, but that still doesn't feel particularly good because Lycan still does a ton of physical damage. And they don't have a Solar, I don't think, on the side of LGD, which is kind of surprising. To skip out on the Solar against a hero like Lycan, who can't like build MKB Forest Summons.
Where do you think the DK goes? He has an Assault Cuirass queued up, but the Lycan almost finished his, so do you just go damage? Do you go Shadow Blade?
He's
going.
I was actually gonna say Mjolnir. That's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
No,
I bet you are. Bud.
No, whenever I'm a carry that has armor, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy AC. Wait, somebody has it on my team. Most similar item in the game. Like that's how I usually look at it. Like the most similar item in the game is the Mjolnir, just because it gives attack speed and the damage aspect of the active is really nice. And they actually have like a lot of damage over time on LGD. So I thought it was either going to be an item like a Heart or a Mjolnir. It's either like a pure damage or a pure tankiness item. And he goes for the damage route. I don't think he needs tankiness with the BKB. I don't see how they kill him during BKB. CK does not do enough damage at this point in the game. And until he has the level 20 talent, he does not do damage through BKB.
And now you see these wards by Dire. There's one that scout out Ame farming those Ancients. You have one on the middle lane as well as just in that opening jungle. So Dire doesn't look like they want to take fights, but they have full vision of what Radiant's doing this entire time.
Bottom lane has a CK ultimate. He's just dead, actually. Okay.
Well, Living goes down. Gets the extra proc on the Chaos Knight illusion, too. Always feels good. Do you like that like amount of RNG in Dota?
I don't like it at level 1 for CK because there's like straight up level 6 engagements on CK that you win if you get the extra illusion and you don't if you So I don't like that, but I like there's a fight going on. We'll worry about that later.
Yeah,
DK gets the Doom.
And it is, yeah, he's just going to eat it. He's going to get healed up though. Rock comes down, Fatal Bonds. Not quite out yet. They're running at him with Crimson Guard. This DK should be fine if he just keeps running. Shuriken will do damage. The power shot as well, but he's just going to heal through it, it looks like. Whoa. Shackle flies in, won't get him.
I feel like they should go into Roche as Lycan's dead right now. I don't know if they know it's up, but they have the DP ultimate. And unless Lycan's alive, they don't actually have like a space creator in these fights for Vici. They need Lycan to just run in and basically remove the supports or even the Doom from the fight. And you're seeing there that like, even though LGD didn't get anything there, they can just run at you and not be afraid.
They do know this is kind of going on. They have the Lycan Wolves. And look at, they're looking for X-Nova. That'd be great to get the track guy. Oh, Ori just blows them up. They go in. Ori casts BKB. They're in a lot of trouble right now. They're just bringing them down. Crimson Guard does get popped again.
Fatal
Bonds. Yeah, it's just going on 3 heroes or 4. Lan M eating some damage, but he's fine with that. Ame's like, I got to get this. He's just going for Roche. He's not going to be able to get in time. Is he? Oh, what a play. He goes through, but Paparazzi steals it. And now Radiant just gets run down.
Wow.
Was that a dieback from Bounty, too?
Yeah, it was. That's a 6 for 2 and the Aegis.
Dude, Ame, it was nice armlet toggles. He armlet toggled through like multiple things to go for the Roche, but it was just too little, too long.
That Fatal Bonds actually just owned them.
Yeah, it did.
Like, at the end of the day, there was a lot of other stuff that went wrong in that fight, but when a support does that much damage, and the upheaval also, we talked about it yesterday with Kyle, like, that spell's insane.
In the Roche pit, too.
Yeah, especially in these, like, small areas of effect. All he has is this blink on the Wind Ranger. That hero's basically not a hero
anymore. Like, she owned the laning phase, but now what does she do? Maybe a 2-person shackle? That's your biggest contribution.
At this stage, it's just super awkward for them. They have the Bloodseeker Aegis, which makes him a lot easier to operate in fights. Like, he knows Lycan's going to run in, and the only option for LGD is to try to jump the back lines. But you can't ignore Lycan at this stage. And DK's going to have a Mjolnir somewhat soon. So he's not going to be ignorable either. This game just took an immediate turn. Like, Bounty Hunter's a hero that when you're ahead, it feels really good, but when you're behind, not so much.
But even with that 6 for 2 trade, Vici Gaming was up 2K. They're only up 3K. Like,
yeah.
The gold isn't that bad, but
it's just like as the game goes on, Lycan scales really well, and DP doesn't have a way to itemize against the way that they kill her. And usually you see these DPs just take long fights, and she's not. Like, she just dies in these fights, and they activate the Necrobook top looking for the Wind Ranger, but she narrowly escapes with that blink.
Does use power shot. Gives away she's still there, but Paparazzi backs out. Speaking of RNG, did you know in like early Dota 1 CK, his level 1 crit used to be 1%, but it was like 40 or 50 times damage or something insane?
No way.
Yeah.
I have to go read the patch.
You have to look
notes.
it up. Yeah, it used to be 1%, but so a lot of CKs would just, I mean, we see a lot of kills bottom. Doom just goes down. So CKs would just leave it at level 1 to have fun. Ame kills 2 people top. VG they just 3-0'd on 2 different places on the map.
Yeah.
And you have level 20 on Lycan. He has the extra 8 seconds.
Lycan's scalability in the game is simply how well can he push all of his summons and run into the fight. And like if you're against heroes like Gyro, Tidehunter, these type of heroes, Kunkka, it's really hard to do that. But LGD has no play against that happening. Unless the CK just stuns him and reality riffs him. But CK is not farmed enough to pull that off. And you're seeing like Lycan's net worth spiraling out of control, and Vici just snowballing off of these like these mid-game fights that they won. They were behind by like 5K and then won 2 fights, and suddenly this.
And you talked about it, especially. I mean, we thought LGD was just owning early,
yeah.
But the bounty hunter, you talked about, like, what does he even do now, right? You have a DK Lycan Night Sight, he does nothing versus him. And oh my goodness, they get the stun off on Deathprod, who does use Spirit Siphon, still has 1 more available, running with that BKB. Get to chase down the Doom DK, but DK, he probably should care because he is dying, but he'll bait away the DP from the rest of his team.
And Lycan's just out with his ultimate. Still has the cheese. 4,800 gold actually on him.
And both sets of racks did go down, top and middle.
I feel like he can just go like Nullifier.
Is that it? Okay. Sorry, I was looking at middle, and Paparazzi thought about going in, but doesn't.
Curious to see what Lycan goes here. I don't think it particularly matters all that much, but I think he's got a lot of choices. Nullifier, BKB. They have the gym on Warlock now, BKB done on Bloodseeker.
You take 2 full racks, everyone's just going to have an extra item.
Yeah, and LGD, as I mentioned before, all that matters about racks is how poorly or well the other team clears waves. They don't have anybody on LGD.
Actually, like you have waves. Death Prophet and Power Shot. Like those are your best 2.
And that's not
good.
Yeah, exactly. So these racks are quite significant in a game like this. And Lycan's only, like his game just gets easier. This is a very good Lycan game, and he's been carrying the game from the off lane. I wasn't a huge fan of it before, but the way they took the mid game and itemized, I think Vici did exactly what they needed to do to come back. And this Bloodseeker build's quite next level. Like Ags, Ether Lens, I think it's about as useful as he could have been. So it's been very enlightening to see that.
Yeah. Like you said, very different. I mean, game's not over. It's not looking good at all for LGD right now. Like you said, the wave clear, they have to commit so much for it. And on the other side, you just have Paparazzi spamming out blood, right? Like, it's so easy.
What did he go on the Lycan? Just has a BKB. Yep, and that's fine. Like, I feel like if they all just have BKBs, they pretty much eliminate LGD's method of coming back.
Smoke gank. Oh, FY just standing there. They think he's in the trees, but he's up the hill.
Go on the illusion.
Nope.
That's why you have 2 ruptures.
They're struggling. FY blinks forward, gets the double shekel. They're going to try to chase now. Chalice, Crimson Guard blinks away. FY still win running away. They find the CK, but they go on the wrong one. Now he's running back in. This is a cluster. Ori goes in. They find Chalice. He'll get silenced up. He will just go down. FY throws out a stun. Chalice buys back. Do we have the purge? Doesn't look like yet. FY just running away. Somnus, though. Uh-oh. This would not be good for Somnus. They're going to back up and go on the backside. Ame is going for the Night Stalker. Stun comes out. Fatal Bonds rolls on all the illusions. Ame trying to eat it, but they're going back in. In comes the Bloodright. This will silence everyone. They run out. CK goes down. Somnus pops the ulti, pops the BKB. Doom on the Dragon Knight should be enough to kill him, but Fender on the backside now. They're getting more upheavals there. They're just going to kill him as well. And what a turnaround. 11. He's dead as well. I lied. He eats cheese. But I think he's still dead. What happened there, BSJ?
They used the entire duration of the Lycan ultimate and Golem, and by that time, nothing significant had happened. And LGD, patient, really well played. Like, they just waited. Like, Somnus held on to his ultimate. He didn't panic. And then once all the ultimates of VG are down and Death Prophet Ghosts are going, that hero is one of the most powerful heroes in the game.
But now you see the problem. What can they do?
Yeah.
They're just hitting this
Focus fire it. Oh, no, it's still down for 20 seconds.
And even then, she's doing like nothing.
She does like 80 damage.
On the backside, they look. Won't find anyone yet. They're trying so hard to bring this tier 3 down. Look at his blood, right?
Why is Ame farming bottom during this time?
Yeah, he does. He bought back to farm, too. Interesting.
I feel like he could be contributing to, like, killing Lanham or Paparazzi as they're trying to defend.
Nice blink by Chalice there. Gets super earned, but just blinks away before it doesn't take a damage. Now they're just chasing Chalice. You're in a lot of trouble, my friend. BKB gets popped. He does have a rupture in 1 second. Might use it on Xnova, now use it on Chalice, and they'll just get him. On the backside, Somnus trying to run away. He gets voided up. Upheaval will slow him. He's going to BKB run away. Has a Yules.
No
gets the rune and runs away.
So he's safe.
That was interesting, yeah. You were right. Ame bought back and just went bottom. It was pushed in, but still. CK just doesn't farm that quickly. Level 20 now. Take that. Reality Rift pierces spell immunity. You talked about it.
He just doesn't seem that scary. That was actually nuts. The DK, he fatal bonds all the illusions from CK, and then the DK attacked twice and killed all the illusions. So CK without illusions is not very scary.
But they did waste fatal bonds on Ame.
That
it
is
felt
true.
like you only used it on one hero, and then they just came in and wiped you up rock as well.
I feel like if they just don't get... They don't allow DP to have ultimate when Lycan doesn't. I feel like they can't win fights on LGD side. But like if they manage to kite out the Lycan ultimate like they did, that is the way that they can come back into this game. DP's actually #1 on the net worth, but not necessarily a hero that's just going to solo carry you through the game.
That's the problem, right? You get Refresher, you get Octarine, you feel a little bit better, but still, you always will have downtime.
You are an ultimate. That is what the hero is at the end of the day.
Well, that's #1 actually. It's been a struggle
we just gotta have like a 20-minute longer game. Cause I said 3, right? So
which we could. The thing is, you still brought up. I'm still worried about PSG.LGD because they don't have wave clear. Is there any chance like Ame goes for? Oh, sorry, yeah, Wind Ranger goes down.
That's the gym, by the way, and that's what happens when you don't have wave clear. You have a support that has no business being in a lane.
They didn't see it though, or
yeah, I guess they didn't notice.
Well, maybe they did, but Chicken is dead, so they can't pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, FY, like, the only reason he's there is because he has to push that wave, and he gets caught out.
And they just run straight bottom.
He has no buyback on FY. He had bought out for a Lincoln's on a support Wind Ranger. Oh, immediate Doom before the Lycan ulti.
Nice play. Warlock Rock comes down, stuns 2 of them. Fatal Bonds. I don't believe it's hit 2 people, but they're just right-clicking down. Chalice is taking so much damage. You do see the Doom on the backside. Here comes Ame. He gets the extra illusion as well. Stuns up the DK. That is so much damage, but down goes the Death Prophet, which is not good. And now Warlock Rock goes down. It's just Ame. Ori buys back. He knows. Wait up. DP doesn't have buyback, I don't think. They run. They're going to try to chase down Ame. They're going to be fine. Xnova buys back as well. And looks like they might just try to end it.
Yeah, CK's not really a hero without his ultimate either. He buys out for the AC, but I don't think it matters. Lycan didn't even get his ultimate off before, so he has everything still up. And I love that immediate buyback by the Lycan. He knows, like, the only way I die is that exactly what happened. They can't do that twice.
Yep. Lycan and Doom, pardon me, Lycan and DK. Now, they just go in and they find Ame, who's just going to get eaten alive right now. Staying in it, though. Fortunately goes down now. FY trying to right-click. Just going in, scaring him out. I think they know the game is probably over. FY runs, gets purged. Megas into the tier 4. This was only a 38-minute game. It felt like a little bit longer to me, but it just felt like Lycan took over the game and just going to end it. You see him trying to defend. Doom pulls the creeps off, but it's not enough.
I just want to highlight Paparazzi having like pretty much the most dumpster start in the history of Bloodseekers, and I was like in confusion of just like, what is he going to buy? What is he going to do?
I mean, me and you, we weren't calling the game, but it was very heavily in favor of LGD at 10 minutes, and we definitely said that, and then you just see Lycan and DK, right? They got like that triple kill where they just took one fight with both their ultis, and all of a sudden they just owned.
Yeah, and the thing about Paparazzi is he went 9-3 and 17 despite
that's crazy
that start. And the thing that people need to understand is when you're in these games that you don't have a clear-cut purpose as a hero, you need to get really creative. And I think Paparazzi did incredible. Like, that's insane. Like, I'm looking at the Bloodseeker game. He can't buy Radiance. He can't go in. He can't. And he buys an Ag Scepter and an Ether Lens.
That's one of the biggest things, too. He has the least amount of deaths on it in the game.
Yeah.
After how bad, you know what the best way to make gold is? Don't die. You get 1 gold a second.
Passive gold. There you go.
It feels good. So, wow, Vici Gaming gives LGD their first loss of the tournament. They 2-0'd Vega. They 2-0'd Newbie. But Vici Gaming, we did say this is probably the prime matchup in this group even. And it goes. I mean, LGD dominates the laning phase. Like all 3 lanes, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, all 3.
It was like a
bottom lane, maybe,
it was like an even trade and then 2-1 lanes.
And then, Vici Gaming, they just pop some ultimates. They even lose first Roche. Doesn't matter. They just end up taking over the game and track. That was a first pick bounty hunter. You didn't feel the
I mean, they had the snowball going, and then they let it go. And with Bounty Hunter, you just can't do that.
That is it. But this is the best of 2 series, so there will be another game, probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, BSJ is going to tell you one of the scariest stories he's ever told anyone in his life, so stick around.